Our first patient today is this beautiful whiteboard that was supposed to be delivered disassembled. As you can see, it is assembled. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes. Sometimes it's the confusion of the customer. Sometimes they just are unable to properly disassemble it. So this one's partially disassembled, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. I mean, it's not only about the shipping, it's that added step that I have to do, and I have to go through to disassemble and reassemble the board, right? The whole process is completely different when the board has to be disassembled. Now I have to keep those parts somewhere after cleaning, I have to reassemble it. So that's why it's more expensive when you send assembled boards. So please mind that. And we're gonna do the standard 1 hour preheating just to prevent the board from warping too much. Now these whiteboards, the sockets lift very early, and let's see if we can catch it here. I think we didn't even start the last step. Yeah, 2017, so we didn't even get to start the last step. So the pins on these whiteboards are just smaller. For some reason, they have a lot less thermal mass. So the socket usually lifts early. On the blackboards, for some reason, the pads are larger, maybe more copper on the ground, who knows. But on the blackboards, usually you have to wait at least half of the last step before the socket is ready to release. And now just a little bit of wicking, a little bit of cleaning. Nothing usually goes bad over here, well, as long as you don't move the caps accidentally, because that definitely adds time. Especially since I can't really use microscope. I could maybe, but it would be a hassle. So if I move the caps, then I have to put on the glasses and I'll just kind of do it manually. So that reduces the success rate. So if you don't have to, definitely don't touch the caps. Don't make more work for yourself. But as you can see, it cleans. You see how it cleaned nicely? But for some reason, I'm not sure what's wrong with this board or what was wrong with my procedure, who knows, but I couldn't clean it. You'll see that in a minute. So after the procedure, we'll see how it cleaned up. But looks like the socket dropped very early. I still let it run for the entire profile just to make sure, just to reflow it. And as you can see, you see that around the socket it kind of looks like it's burnt, right? It is burnt flux, but it fused so deeply into the board for some reason that I could not clean it. I even replaced the liquid in my ultrasonic cleaner. I tried a few things. I tried brushing, obviously, but it just won't let loose. So at this point I was thinking maybe my flux is a bit too acidic, and it just fused into the board because of this acidity. So to answer that question, I have another whiteboard in this session, so we'll see. Next one is black. So the socket lifts a little later, so at least mid through the last step. Same thing, preheating for about an hour. This one suffered a little bit more warping, but within the reasonable range of deforming. As you can see, it's kind of like breathing now. So even judging by that, you already know that it's going to warp a little more than other boards, and some boards are like that. It's probably the amount of copper, the size and the shape of the traces. But it lifted, oh no, it looks like it's lifting right at the beginning of the last step, yeah. So we barely started the 218 step, which is good. If we don't have to heat it up all the way through, we don't heat it up. And a little bit of wicking a little bit of cleaning. No caps were moved, so we're good here. Actually, caps are not that big of an issue, it's the resistors. If you move those tiny resistors, that's the problem. And of course we have Avast free antivirus that essentially is the owner of the real estate of on my screen. I guess that's how it works nowadays. I guess notifications are no longer a thing now, being respectful to the owner of the computer. No, I don't care what you're doing, I just want to take the majority of the real estate of your screen because I have something to tell you, I want some money from you, so it's my computer now. What happened to the respect to the user? And it's not only free software, now it's notorious with even paid software. No respect for the ownership of anything. Alright, and we're reflowing. This one actually dropped really early. I think it, yeah, I already missed it. I think it dropped at around 190, something like that. I still ran it through the whole profile though. And we have another white board, so now we're gonna answer the question, was there something different about that other board, or is it my flux? This one is a little bit newer, as you can see, all solid state caps. The bracket was left on, but that's not a big issue. That's actually perfectly fine. I mean, if you can remove the bracket, that's better. But if you forget, that's perfectly fine. The bracket is not a problem. Let's see, this one is warping a little bit, but not that much. Yeah, almost no warping. If you preheat slowly, it usually works pretty well. And this one should lift also very early. Let's see, well, we're at full 218 and like quarter of the step, so this one actually took a little longer. But it does seem to be much more powerful board, so I'm guessing there's a little more copper on it, so a little more thermal mass. But it lifted perfectly fine, no issues there. Actually very little warping, looking at it now. It almost didn't warp at all, so that's what we like to see. Cleaning is easier on these because there's a lot less solder on these because the pads are smaller, which also works against you because it's easier to rip the pads that are smaller, especially during wicking, or if you're not patient enough and pull the socket a little too early. You can rip a pad, which essentially means failure. Never happened to me, or at least not for the customer. When I started doing this, then yeah, I pulled a lot of pads, but I was using different equipment back then anyways. So that was mainly the problem of equipment. As you can see, it cleans okay, although you can tell that there is a little bit of yellowish tint from the flux. But we'll see after the procedure, after we burn the crap out of it. That's when we actually see. And let's reflow it. It's taking me a little longer to align it, although alignment or the outline on this one was excellent, but I had some life issues on while I was doing that. But it's not like you can take a break, you just have to finish from start to finish. There is no taking breaks or anything. Anyways, look at that, it's perfectly clean. So it's not the flux, something about that board, as you can see the sticker is still on, you wouldn't even tell that this was replaced. So I'm not sure, was the other board just different? Who knows? But that's it for this session. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one.